Hello, and welcome to the training video for Utica City School District's new web-to-print system, WebCRD. My name is Brian Bezick, and I'm going to be walking you through a step-by-step guide on how to log in, place orders, and everything in between for all of your print needs. To start, to access this print portal, you're going to need a few things. Number one, you're going to be needed to be logged into the school's network. You can do this a couple of different ways. Number one, any computer within the school district will allow you access to this screen and this URL. And the other way is if you are at your home office and you've VPN'd into the school's network. The second is the URL, and you can see it right up here at the top of the screen, printshop.uticaschools.org. No need to write that down now, as you'll be provided that information as part of this training, but that is the URL to access the print shop. And the last thing you're going to need is your school credentials. So you can see here the full extension of your username when logging in, and what that means is your entire email address. So your school email address will be your user ID, and the password you have associated with that address will be the password to get you logged in. You can see here that the defaulted option right here is LDAP login. That's going to be how you're going to access the system. But for the training purposes today, I'm going to be using a local account, as I do not have an email address because I'm not a teacher at the school. So again, it will default to LDAP login. I'm going to be using the local account, but if for whatever reason you're having difficulty logging in, just confirm that you're on the LDAP from the dropdown. Once you have your full email address and your password associated with that typed in, you're going to click login, and it's going to bring you right to the home screen. So this is what the home screen will look like for all of your ordering needs. And before we get started with the ordering process, there's a few things we want to confirm. So we're going to go up to this button in the top right that's called the My Account page and click on that. And that's going to bring us all of the information associated with your account specifically. Now, a lot of this information is going to be pulled automatically from your Active Directory, and really we're just asking you to confirm it. However, we're going to click Modify here just to make sure that that information is correct. And then most importantly, we're going to need you to input your school name here. It will not pull from the Active Directory, so you will need to put that school name in. And that's going to allow us to maintain the current shipping process and get your print jobs delivered to you at the right place and the right time. The rest of the information, first name, last name, email address, that will pull automatically. We're just going to ask you to confirm it. So once you've confirmed your school, put it in there, confirm the rest of the information, you're going to click Save, and it's going to bring you right back to the My Account home screen. There's a couple other things that we want to make sure are correct here. So you can see that from my contact information, it has pulled my name and the school name into the shipping as well as the billing information, which is all good. And now we're going to move down to the email options. So this is going to be personal preference for each user, but you're going to want to check the boxes of the emails you'd like to receive throughout the print process. My recommendation would be, at the very least, you have the order completed box checked as well as the ordered receipt. The other ones are great to let you know as you're moving through the process and your job's moving through the process kind of where it is. But I would recommend the order receipt will send you an email once you complete the order for your records that will include all of the print jobs information. And then the order complete will let you know that the job is complete and will be on its way to you shortly. The rest of these are personal preference, but really it's up to you. And the last thing on the My Account page that we're going to ask you to spend some time with are these print options at the bottom. What this is going to allow you to do is set your print preferences, your default preferences for all your jobs. If you know that the majority of your jobs have the same specs between the pages, what kind of binding, staples, or 3-hole punches, you have specific covers that you're going to use for the majority of your jobs, you're just going to want to input all of that information here. So you can see when we click on the print tab, I'm going to be able to choose black and white or color as my default options. Again, really just align that with the majority of jobs that you're going to be placing. Plex, single-sided, or two-sided. The different paper. So because I've selected cover, I only have the white paper, white bond, and the ivory bond as options. If I were to select black and white, it's going to allow me to choose from all of the different colors that we have here. Just an administrative note here, as far as the color goes, because of some delays with the shipping process and ordering the paper, we're going to try and match colors as best we can. But if you order canary yellow and just get yellow, that's just a matter of what's available in the print shop in that given week. Scaling, I'd recommend using scale down only, but if you do have other specific needs, you have the ability to center every job, scale the fit, or no scaling at all. Binding, again, so if you know the majority of your jobs are in booklet form or you want dual portrait staple, you have the ability to select those options here. Folding and punching, same thing. If you know that the majority of your jobs are single fold or you want them 3-hole punched, we'll select 3-hole punch for here. So I can show you what that looks like in the preview later. But again, you're just going to select that. And then the covers. You have the ability to select front and back covers. You can select the color. And then you also have the print options, whether you want nothing printed on it, you want it printed on the inside, printed on the outside, or printed on both sides. And you have the ability to select that for the front and back cover separately. So any changes, anything you update in here, you're just going to want to click Save, and that's going to save your options for your default print needs. Once you do save, it'll bring you back to the My Account page, and that will conclude all of the information we're going to need from you on this page. Once you've finished updating all of the information on the My Account page, you can navigate back to the home screen one of two ways. You can click Home here in the top right, or you can click anywhere on this banner and it'll take you right back to the home page. Now I'm going to walk you through how to upload and order a file. The WebCRD portal accepts file types, many different file types, including Word documents, Excel documents, PowerPoints, anything from notes, and it will automatically convert it to a PDF as part of the upload process. If for whatever reason you run into an issue and the file's not uploading it properly, I would refer back to one of those file formats and it should take it. It accepts PDFs as well, but it'll alert you with a message across the top of the screen if your file format is not accepted. To upload the file, you have two different choices. You can drag and drop it, or you can click this Click to Browse button, which will bring up all of the files you have on your computer available for print. So I'm going to click to Browse and then upload a file from my computer. Click Open, and you can see it was a Word document. So as the file's uploading, the system is converting it to a PDF, as that's what we use for the backend print specs. The first thing you're going to want to do after you upload the file is provide a detailed order name. And this is for a couple different reasons. Number one, for your own records, there is a reorder function that we'll cover later in the training, but you want to be able to reference this file and the file name without having to dig through exactly what it is that job was. The other reason is if you ever run into an issue and you need to contact the print shop about a specific order, if you have the order name handy, it'll be much easier for them to find. So we're just going to call this file test and hit continue. And you'll see up here under the cart, it'll show you what that order name is. And if you, for whatever reason, fat finger it or need to change the name, you can simply click on this pencil and it'll allow you to rename the order. Now we're going to move our attention over to this right-hand side of the screen. And there's a couple things you'll want to note here. Number one, if you need to just trash this file and start all over again, you can click the garbage can icon. If you simply uploaded the wrong file, you can click replace a file and it will allow you to pull a different one from your computer. And if once you finish all of the print preview and print options, you want to continue shopping, you can simply click this button. It'll take you back to the home screen and this job will stay in its cart. And then finally, the quantity. This is where you're going to select how much quantity you want for that specific job. So we'll just say 15. So once we've navigated all of that, we're going to move down to the print options. So as you can see, it pulled all of the information that I had set up in my default print options right here. Black and white, two-sided with the white bond, scale down only. The binding I chose was dual portrait staple, and I also chose 3-hole punch on the left side of the page. with blue cover stocks in the front and back, blank covers, no text on the inside or the outside. So all of that information is pulled right into here. However, you do have the ability to change it simply by clicking on this preview/change options button. So this is going to bring you to a new screen that's going to allow you to make adjustments to your file on the fly. It is worth noting that once the file is uploaded into the system, you do not have the ability to add any text or any content to the page itself or to the document itself. But I'm going to walk you through what options you do have to change once the file is within the system. So first, to start, on this left pane, you can see the output black and white. You have the ability to change the entire document to color or back to black and white. Same thing with the paper. If you want to change what paper that this is being printed on, since we're in black and white, you have a number of different colored options, and you have the ability to make that selection here. Moving down, scale down only, you have the ability to change the scaling. If you decided, actually, I want this file one-sided only, you can make that adjustment here. Same with the covers. I've selected blue covers for the front and back. I've selected to a blank cover, so no print, nothing, no text or content on the inside or the outside. But you can make that choice here. You also have the ability to configure the front and back covers separately simply by clicking on this button. And then binding, again, staple, dual portrait, that was my default option. I can change that here if I wanted. Actually, I only want a single staple portrait. And you can see that preview is live and changing to that single staple up here. In folding punching, I'm going to leave it with a 3-hole punch to show you exactly what that looks like on the preview. But if you decided you don't want that 3-hole punch anymore, you can click on this button as it's uploading and remove that option. So that takes you through the quick sets on the left-hand side pane. And as you can see, this print preview is live. So as I make adjustments on the left side, it's going to transfer over here to the right. And what's important to note here, especially with the staples and the 3-hole punch, is that a lot of times from what I'm hearing, students are taking these print jobs home. Maybe they're tearing out pages, and you want to confirm that as you're moving through, that maybe the 3-hole punch or the staples aren't bleeding into the text or the images that are on the print job itself. So this preview is fairly accurate, so you're going to get a good understanding if there's any bleed or if those hole punches or the staples are covering up any content on the page itself. But you can see I'm pulling it through page by page to get to that back cover, which again, I chose to not print anything on the front of the back, and that's going to be the back of my print job. Now you have the ability to make adjustments to both view the pages and make adjustments to the page on a page-by-page level. And you're going to do that by one of two options. And we're going to start with clicking this little waffle or grid view button in the bottom right. So when I click that, it's going to bring up all of my pages with the exception of the covers on a page-by-page basis. And you can see the system's taking a little bit just to upload the preview of the file itself. But here you have the ability, similar to what you can make to adjustments you can make to the entire document on the left pane here, you have the ability to make it on a page-by-page level. So you can see this little droplet. If I have one page in this document I actually want color, let's say page 4, I can change this to color itself. You can see it's just taking a little bit on the back end, but it's going to allow me to make those changes on the fly. The other option you have is to right click on the page. So if you right click on any individual page, I can change it to color here. And there's a few other options I have within this view as well. You can change the specific paper for that page. So if you want to change it to a different color, or maybe a different thickness for any particular reason, maybe to divide up the booklet a little bit, you have the choice there. You can select, well, I actually want this page one-sided. You can make that option here. And you also have the ability to add blank sheets or blank pages. If for whatever reason you want to break up the document a little bit, or maybe you want to add a blank sheet in there so that your students can take notes, you have the ability to do that right within this view without having to make adjustments to the file outside of the system and then re-upload and go through that entire process again. Blank pages, same thing. And you also have the ability to change the covers in this view. And then show and preview will just take you back to the preview page. So I've made all of the adjustments I want here. I want to go back to the preview page. I'm just going to click this little down arrow to close the grid view, and it's going to bring me back to the home page. And then the last thing here is you do have the ability to open this pane here, which is essentially a combination of the preview and the grid view. So it's called scroll view, and it's going to show you those pages on the bottom part of the screen along with the preview up top. So as you're making changes, you can see it there as well. Again, you can right click here. If I want to add a blank sheet before, it's going to show me that live. I've got the blank sheet here, and it's going to show me that in the pane view down here, the scroll view as well. Click the down arrow and it'll bring me back just to the preview. I've confirmed everything's what I want. And then I'm just going to click done with print options, and it's going to take me back to the order confirmation page and the cart page. So as we've worked through that, we've confirmed that the quantity is correct. You have the ability to click here to preview it. It'll pop up a screen and you'll get a quick preview of the document itself. Again, if you just want to confirm everything's where you need it to be. And then the last part for this top half is we're going to click the enter special instructions. So if there's any special notes or any print specs that for whatever reason you didn't see in the preview and change options page, you have the ability to add a note here. And the workers in the print shop will see this in the order and be able to make any adjustments necessary for this specific order. So once I hit save, that's going to save the special instructions. You're going to see it there, and you'll see it on the order confirmation page as well. Now we're going to move down into shipping information. So again, you can see I've got my school name right here, and that is going to be the most important feature here. If for whatever reason it's not right, the spelling's right, not right, or maybe it never got added, you can click this little pencil and edit those options. Maybe you're placing an order on behalf of someone else, or you need to get it shipped somewhere else. You can change that right in here and navigating through these buttons. Shipping method, we're sticking with local courier, so that's the same process that's currently being used. So that is your only option for shipping method. And then finally, your shipped by date. So as of now, our turnaround time is 5 business days. So you have the ability to select a date anywhere outside of 5 days from now. But the nice part is if you're working ahead and you're going to need some jobs during the holiday season or maybe shortly after the new year coming back as we are working into the end of the first semester, you can order print jobs as far in advance as you'd like, and that will allow the print shop to get jobs printed out in a timely fashion. So I'm going to select Wednesday the 3rd. It's going to say there, I've got Wednesday the 3rd right here, and then that note, only dates when the print center is open may be selected. So again, if the print shop's closed during any holidays or the weekends, that date will not be an option for you to choose. So I've got the order name, I've got the shipping method, everything, courier, I've got my date, everything confirmed up here. And the last part of this page is the billing information. So again, I've got my name, my school name, and you're going to want to match up that school name with the school name for the billing codes. Again, the cost information is not important. This is really just for accounting purposes, so that we're tracking how many jobs are going through the system and which schools are ordering which types of jobs. If you do not select a school name, it will not allow you to place the order. And if for whatever reason you select the wrong name from the drop down, once you place an order, please contact the print shop so that they can make that adjustment and we can make sure the accounting information is correct. So just to review, we've got the order name up here. That will pop up when you first get to this page after you upload a file. Make sure that that's something that you'll be able to reference later, as I'll show you how to manage your order history and reorder a file. We've got the quantity. We've got all of our print options changed and updated for this specific job. It will pull all of those default options from your My Account page, but you can make adjustments here. Any changes you make, you can see down here, I've added that blank sheet just as the testing. And then you can see here, I entered those special instructions. All of that information is correct. I've selected my shipping date. I've confirmed that my school name is accurate. And then I've selected my school name for billing from the dropdown. So all my information is correct. I'm going to click place order down here. If for whatever reason you've got another job you want to place on the order, you can either click continue shopping here or at the top page right above quantity, or you can start a new cart, which will empty this one and bring you right back to the ordering home screen. So I'm going to click place an order. That's going to send it through the system and bring me to the order confirmation page. So once I click place an order, I've got to this order confirmation and order submitted page. And you can see that I've got my order number and then right up here, and it has been submitted for approval. So as part of the new ordering process, there is an approval workflow that will, so once the order is placed, it will move into approval, which will go through a few different people just to make sure that the order is accurate, that we haven't fat fingered the quantity and ordered 10,000 instead of 100. But really it's just a quality control check to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. You can see here in this little note below, an order confirmation email will be sent to you if enabled. So that goes back to the email options that we selected on the My Account page. And that's really personal preference. But if you did select that as an option, you will get all of this information emailed to you. So no need to screen grab or print the receipt because this will be sitting in your inbox. You can see all of the order information name is the same that I inputted. I've got the test, it's got my customer name in the approval group. It's got my order number as well as my requested ship date, the file name with the quantity. It's got all of my billing and shipping information. And then down here, it's got all of the print specs. So color, two-sided. I choose the single staple portrait with the hole punch on the left. I've got the front and back covers with the blue cover stocks, and then it did note that I added that one blank sheet. And then I've got my special instructions again, so you see that the production people working in the print shop will see that on the order screen, so then they can make note of that if anything specific outside the normal scope needs to be done to this job. So once I'm done with here, you can see my cart's emptied because I have that order had moved through. It's going to the approval process. And to return to the home screen, you can either click the home in the top right or click anywhere on the banner. So as we're moving back to the home screen, there's one more thing I want to show you. And that's right here on the left pane in the view order history. So once I click in here, it's going to show me a list of all of the previous jobs that I've ordered, what their order number is, when it was created, and what the status is for that job. So you can see my order number 18, the test file that we just worked through, order name test, the date that it was created, my name because that's who it's being shipped to, and what the status is. So you can see here, I've got a few different statuses as you look through my order history. Pending approval. So I know that order has not gone to production, has not been printed yet. It's still working through the approval process. Below here, you can see I've got a previous job that was canceled. Way down here at the bottom, you can see that this job has been completed. So the job has actually been printed. And then once it's shipped, that status will change to shipped. So you know that it's on its way to you. But this page is important as we discussed when we were naming the file. I would not receive a passing grade since all of my file names are tests, so it would be hard to reference if I wanted to reorder it without going in and actually viewing the file. But you do want to put an order name that you're going to be able to reference quickly if you do, for whatever reason, need to reorder it. Maybe you need the same file for second semester. Maybe you need just a few more copies because you didn't get as many as you needed the first time. But that reorder process should make your life a little easier. So to show you that, if you need to view it for whatever reason, you can click view right here and it'll pull up a preview of what that file was that you had ordered. So you can check it. You can see all of that information is pulled right there. We're going to go back to that page so I can show you what the reorder process looks like, which is a little bit simpler. So again, view order history. I want to reorder that file that I just made without having to go through all of the print specs again. So I'm going to click reorder. And what that's going to do is pull that file right into the cart for me. All of the print specs are going to be the same down to the blank sheet that I added. You will have to update the quantity and any special instructions as part of the reorder process, but everything is going to be the same. It's going to update that to order number 19. The order name is going to be the same, but you can see the local courier is still selected. The name of the file is the same. The billing for the school is the same. So all of that information is going to be pulled directly into your cart. So you can see that if you do need to reorder it, that process is fairly easy and you don't have to work through all of the print specs again. So with that, that concludes our training. I want to thank you for your time. And you'll see on the screen after we've completed the video that there will be contact information for any questions that you have for the print shop. Again, thanks for your time. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the school year and I wish you all the best.